Welcome into DRF Sportsbook's betting breakdown. We are back in the home studio after some travel for the holiday weekend. Had a little bit of time off last week. We are back to break down this Saturday night football matchup in the AFC South between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's win-in for the NFL playoffs, and it has been an absolutely insane way for both teams to get here. But before we break down that game and share our best bets and some player prop, or I was going to say player props, but it's more like player prop to target, just a friendly reminder, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you're on social media. Subscribe to us right here on YouTube. Wherever you're on social media, I can guarantee we're right there with you at DRF Sportsbook. If you're in Iowa, you can bet with us as well. Just download our app in whatever app store you have, or you can check us out on desktop, ia.drf.com. And if you're not in Iowa, well, you can follow along regardless. We're giving out betting insights, exclusive betting angles, everything like that for you to be profitable. Whether you're betting with DRF Sportsbook or another online sportsbook or retail sportsbook, we want you to win. So follow along at DRF Sportsbook. So all that housekeeping aside, it's Titans, Jaguars, and I said it at the top, folks. Two completely different ways in getting to this spot, this win-in spot. It seemed that the Tennessee Titans were all but a shoo-in. They started 7-3 this season. The Jaguars 3-7. But then you look at the last 6 weeks, Tennessee's lost their last 6, and people have talked about it ad nauseum. They just keeps bringing it up. The Titans, what's happening with them? Malik Willis isn't starting. Ryan Tannehill's out. They're starting Josh Dobbs, who was signed off of a practice squad just 2 weeks ago. But let's talk about the Jaguars for a second. 5-1 over their last 6 after an abysmal 3-7 start. Trevor Lawrence is playing like the generational talent that we all expected him to, but you probably haven't really been paying all that much attention. I know I haven't really been paying all that much attention until I really dove into the statistics, because he's playing for Jacksonville. When was the last time this team was on in prime time? I don't think this season. I mean, you got to really look if you want to watch Trevor Lawrence. Normally he's on in the 1 p.m. slate when there's 15 other games going on. But he's in a standalone game tonight. 8:15 p.m. Eastern is the kick for this game. Trevor Lawrence has been playing at an exceptionally high value, a top 10 type of player over these last 6 weeks. He's number 6 in EPA plus CPOE, expected points added, plus completion percentage over expectation. A really good metric to use to see how well a quarterback is playing. But not only is he playing well, the entire wide receiver room, tight end room, running backs out of the backfield catching the ball have been playing exceptionally well for the Jaguars. Over this 6-game winning streak, they're one of the top passing offenses in the entire National Football League. And then you flip over to Tennessee. What's been going wrong for the Titans? Look, Tennessee over this 6-game losing streak, 28th in offensive EPA. Not good for them. Not only that, they're 31st defensively, and that's astronomically bad considering that they allow just 81 rush yards per game. That means their pass defense, is so bad that teams are just eating them alive through the air. They're 32nd in dropback EPA this season, and it's not that close, which makes this game absolutely fantastic if you're a Jaguars fan. Tennessee can't stop the pass. Jacksonville has one of the best passing attacks in the NFL. This is a prime matchup for the Jaguars. Jaguars don't run it all that well. They're actually they're in the bottom half of the NFL in EPA added per rush. But on the passing side of the football, they're 6th in the NFL. Tennessee, you don't even have to try to run. Their secondary, this team is so bad at stopping the run, and now their star cornerback, I believe Caleb Farley, is out in this game. You don't even have to try to run against Tennessee. You don't have to keep them honest. This secondary is so bad. Jacksonville is going to pick them apart. It doesn't matter that the Jaguars' run game is non-existent. That does not matter when you play this Tennessee Titans team. Yeah, they only average 81 yards per game, but that's because you can just pass the ball with ease. It's like a hot knife going right through hot butter. I mean, it's already melted, and then you're just cutting it even easier. That's how bad this Titans secondary is. Pair that with the fact that the public, for some reason, is on the Titans. Not by a lot, but by 54% of the public is riding with Tennessee. You see here on the screen, Jacksonville, our power line likes it more like minus 12. Jacksonville to win. So if you're trying to find a money line to play, Jacksonville minus 260, I think, is the lock of the day. But I'm not here to give out money line bets. I want to give you a spread pick on this one. It's Jacksonville minus 6.5 with ease. Doug Peterson, in his career, 10-0 against the spread in home games against defenses that allow less than 90 yards per game, 90 yards rushing per game. He's 10-0 in those games against the spread. I think that continues here tonight, mainly for the fact that the Tennessee Titans allow 7 yards per attempt. You can just dink and dunk, you can cut and slice, you can chop, chunk, covered, smothered, Waffle House, hash browns edition all over this Tennessee Titans defense. And look, Jaguars minus 6.5. Hammer it now. If it gets to minus 7.5, it's starting to cross that threshold, cross that number. I think if you can get it under a touchdown, that's fantastic. But I'll also say this. I think the Jaguars dominate this game. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to slice and dice up this Titans secondary with complete ease. And I don't think it's going to be a relatively close game. I think the Titans fizzle out completely, and it's an insane 7-game losing streak to end the season to move to 7-10. Meanwhile, the Jaguars 8-8. I think they get this win, go 9-8, and pick up a huge AFC South win and make the playoffs in Trevor Lawrence's second year. Now, let's break down a quick player prop. Trevor Lawrence over under 263.5 pass yards. We're hammering the over on this one. You see over here on the left rail. Over here on the left rail, it's set at over 263.5 over under there. The over is at minus 114. Against the Titans in his career, he averages 287 yards per game. This entire season, he's averaging just a smidge under 263 pass yards. He's averaging 243, so about 20 yards less. And over the last 6, he's right at about that number, 261 pass yards per game over this last 6-game stretch where they are 5-1. Over that stretch, though, he's hit the over in 3 of those games. That 261 number is coming down kind of a lot based off of his last game against the Texans where he threw for sub 200 yards. I think he gets back in the driver's seat, whatever analogy you want to use. And I think he slings it and gets over 263.5 pass yards, mainly for the reason I mentioned above, where the Titans are one of the worst secondaries in the entire NFL. And Jacksonville, they don't run it exceptionally well. So they're going to have to rely on Trevor Lawrence in this game. And this is a fantastic matchup for them. You know, the Jaguars, one of the best passing attacks in the NFL over the last 6 weeks. The Titans, one of the worst at defending the pass over the last 6 weeks. So you like to find a good-on-good matchup and see who's going to come out. This is a good-on-horrible matchup. No. This is a great-on-horrible matchup, and Jacksonville is going to take advantage of it. Doug Peterson is going to scheme this game wide open. Give me Trevor Lawrence over 263.5 pass yards. And not only that, give me the Jaguars minus 6.5 with complete ease. The Jaguars dominate this game through the air, and the Titans have no shot at making the playoffs behind third-string quarterback Josh Dobbs.